Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you episode 68 of my brand new Comics Haul series. This is a series where each and every week when I grab my new books at the local comic shop for new comic book day, I show you guys every issue I got and I tell you everything you need to know about every single issue. Here's a stack for this week. As you can see, I got a lot. I've got 8 issues in total. That's a lot bigger than it's been usually for me, especially over the last few weeks. I've had some pretty small hauls. Man, this is going to make up for it. I've got 6 issues from Marvel and 2 from Image, so we're going to get right into these. Let's roll the intro first though. You guys already know the drill. Huge shout out to Radical Toys for creating that intro for the channel. Let's get right into it though. I always started off with the most anticipated issue of the week. This is from Marvel Comics this week, and we're going to start this haul off with Hulk issue number 7. Most importantly though, this is Banner of War Part 3. Awesome cover there by Gary Frank, where we see Iron Man getting involved. And we got that full lead up in the previous issue of Banner of War, which was Thor number 25. The first part of this crossover was Banner of War Alpha. You need to stay on top of things. I mean, they provide checklists in the back of all the issues, so it's pretty clear what's going on. But for any readers of Hulk, you're going to need to also grab issues of Thor and vice versa. On top of that, in this crossover, they've had some pretty important stuff going on just for the ongoing story arcs of Hulk happening in the pages of Thor. And someone at the comic shop was saying when I grabbed this issue a couple hours ago that there's some pretty important stuff for Thor happening in this Hulk issue. So it really is important to get both of these different titles for this crossover. Artwork is definitely one of the best parts of this. I wasn't expecting anything too special from Kokolo. He's pretty new to the industry as far as I know, or at least new to Marvel. This is pretty much the first big thing that he's done for them. But it's been really great, especially working with the colors. The writing has been so good. This is a total redemption arc, in my opinion, for Donny Cates at Marvel. Hulk number 7, what's your opinion on Banner of War so far? Let me know down in the comment section below. I've been really liking it, so that's my most anticipated issue of the week. Alright guys, like I said, it's a big week, so we've got some really great releases from Marvel Comics this week. Let's get right into the next one here. This is a highly anticipated one for a lot of people. We've got The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 2. I did do a full review of the first issue. You can check that one out if you want a little bit more information. Can't remember exactly, but I think I gave that first issue like a 7 out of 10. Really wasn't what I was expecting. It let me down quite a lot, to be completely honest. I mean, it was still an enjoyable read overall, but just the expectations for Amazing Spider-Man in this day and age are super high. I mean, I think it's generally the best selling ongoing series, maybe besides Batman. It's been a while since the first issue. We basically just saw a preview of what the series is going to be about, though. We've got this whole mystery that's going to be unfolding over who knows how long in this series. What did Peter do? There's some huge mistake that he made. Now he's at odds with all of the different people that used to be his friends. He's broken up with Mary Jane. The big cliffhanger that involved Mary Jane that happened at the end of the last issue that I'm definitely not going to spoil for you guys. You got to check that out for yourself. Artwork by John Romita Jr. can be a little weird at times in my opinion, but for the most part, he doesn't miss even though he's been in the industry for so long. So I'm still excited to see where this series goes. I'm going to stick with it for now, but that first issue was not it in my opinion. That's Amazing Spider-Man number 2. Alright everyone, moving on with Marvel Comics. This week I've got Devil's Reign Omega number 1. It's been like at least 2, maybe 3 months since Devil's Reign number 6 came out and that whole event wrapped up. This is an Omega issue though, and we do have a new Daredevil ongoing series that's starting right after this, so this is mainly just leading into that. But I have looked inside. There's 3 different stories in here. The first one is by Chip Zdarsky. Not sure who the artist is. And then there's a couple other stories in there that have to do with the new Thunderbolt series that's coming out that's leading into that. I guess that's spinning out of Devil's Reign, or so they're saying. And then there's also a story in the back having to do with Luke Cage as mayor, because the whole idea of Devil's Reign, by the time that the event wrapped up, was that Wilson Fisk employed a bunch of different armed forces around New York City to take down any masked superheroes who didn't have their identities revealed, who weren't registered. Pretty much the exact same thing as Civil War without the superheroes fighting each other, and it was a little bit repetitive in my opinion. I thought that whole event was a little bit unnecessary. Devil's Reign Omega number 1 from Marvel Comics. Alright, I've got a few more issues to show you guys from Marvel this week. Let's continue right into it here with Punisher issue number 3. Another oversized issue of, I think, this 12 or 13 issue series. I don't think they plan on doing this too long. It's just a maxi series, but this cover can be a little bit misleading. That is not Captain America or a young Captain America. That's actually young Frank Castle, who we see featured on the cover there. In the previous issue, we saw that he used to wear a Captain America mask as a child because he was I guess influenced by Captain America, like a lot of kids in the Marvel Universe are, and it turns out that his path to violence has been forged for him, I guess, by the Hand since he was a little boy. So we got to see this meeting in the previous issue with this like elder leader of the Hand. She was like already an old woman in that scene where he was a little boy. Frank Castle's probably like in his 30s or 40s in the present day, right? And she's not any older. I don't know if that character is immortal, if that was just like kind of a hiccup artistically. We do have two artists on this book. Jesus Saiz doing the main art, really photorealistic, kind of like a soft touch. It almost looks painted, but it's probably penciled. Artwork is definitely the highlight of this book. And then there's also flashback scenes by Paul Azaceta. So that's Punisher number 3 for now. Alright guys, a lot of big stuff from Marvel this week. I've got another issue of a fan favorite series here that came out this week. We've got Moon Knight number 11. So every month that this comes out, this is at the top of my stack. This is truly one of the best series in a long time that's come out from Marvel especially. It's really unique when compared to all the other series that they usually publish. And really the main reason for that is just that Moon Knight has individual stories in every issue. I've talked about this before. I really like this format where it's just individual kind of, I guess you could call them one-off stories with Moon Knight being tasked in his midnight mission, but then there's also a greater ongoing narrative going on with different villains popping in and out. Zodiac has been the main villain of this first arc, and I think his whole storyline is going to wrap up next issue. So the first 12 issues, the first year of Moon Knight is centered around Zodiac. Jed MacKay has it in the bag right now. This is such a great series, and I can't wait to see where it goes after the Zodiac story arc wraps up next issue. Alright guys, only one more issue from Marvel Comics, and then we'll get into Image, but this final issue that I ended up picking up for this huge haul for New Comic Book Day from Marvel Comics was Avengers. This is issue number 56. I think I mentioned it in the last New Comic Book haul when an issue of Avengers came out. I did drop this series, but I saw this one on the shelves. I still kind of wanted it even though I dropped the series because this is going to be a one-off special centering completely around Jane Foster as Valkyrie, but also maybe as the Mighty Thor. So I'm not sure if this is just like a multiversal shenanigan where she looks at some other universe where she still remained Thor and it didn't go back to Odin's son. Basically, this is just marketing for the new Thor Love and Thunder series. If you guys have seen the trailers for that, let me know what you're thinking. I'm super excited. This is going to be leading, I'm assuming, directly into this new mini-series that we've got going on called Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor. That's starting, I think, next month, and it's, you know, coming out like at the same time as the movie is, so fans will have something to read afterwards if they liked the movie. And the idea of that mini-series, from what I've heard, is just that Jane Foster has to become the Mighty Thor again because Mjolnir comes to her and I guess tells her that Odin's son has disappeared, so she has to reclaim Mjolnir. So this will be my jumping off point, but I'm excited to see how this leads into the new miniseries. That's Avengers number 56. Alright everyone, just a couple issues left in this new comics haul. Both of them are from Image Comics, so let's get right into it here. This next one is Gunslinger Spawn. This is issue number 8 of this ongoing series. This is my favorite of the Spawn's universe titles. That's why this is the only one that I decided to keep on my pull list. A couple months ago I had all 4 of them on my pull list, but slowly I dropped them off one by one. Gunslinger has been so consistently good. The plot is really easy to understand, which I think is important in a lot of modern day comics right now. So Gunslinger Spawn is actually written by the original creator of Spawn, Todd McFarlane. The artwork is so good in here by Brett Booth. It's super detailed, almost looks like Todd McFarlane's original artwork when he was drawing the book back in the 1990s. And I can't remember exactly what happened last issue. I think it was kind of a one-off story, but by the end of it, we had a crossover going on with She-Spawn, Jessica Priest. Gunslinger met her at a bar. He's asking her for some sort of favor. This is a top-notch series. I definitely recommend it. Gunslinger Spawn number 8. Alright, thank you guys so much for sticking around all the way till this point in the video. I've only got one more issue to show you guys from Image Comics, and this last one is Saga number 59. What a great cover there. Really colorful fish in the ocean and space. I don't know. That's done by Fiona Staples. She is the ongoing artist on this book. It's written by Brian K. Vaughan. I don't know what that cover is referring to, but this series has been really great since it returned with number 55. So far we've had this new story arc going on where Hazel and her mom Alana have been like I guess drug dealers over the last few years, so now they've got some new deal coming up. They've had to board with these space pirates who are also drug dealers, I guess, and they've made some sort of deal with them, but they know that these other people have some sinister plans along the way. Plus we've got all of these flashbacks going on that are filling in the actual gap that happened in the comic. There was also 3 years, just like there's the gap in actual real life. So I appreciate that. I appreciate them filling us in because a lot has changed since issue number 54 of Saga. I really like the return so far though, and I know they have a whole plan to keep this going for like a bunch of more issues over the next few years, so I'm here for it. I'm going to keep on getting this series. That's Saga number 59. Alright everyone, that was every single one of the brand new comics that I ended up picking up for New Comic Book Day this week. Let me know what you guys got though. Which one did you pick up this week? Which was your most anticipated? Or if you already read your books, which one is your favorite this week? I'm definitely looking forward to reading Hulk number 7, Banner of War Part 3 the most. That whole Banner of War crossover has been really great so far in my opinion. Donny Cates is killing it. Amazing Spider-Man number 2, I'm a little bit curious, although number 1 was kind of a letdown. What are you guys' thoughts on Amazing Spider-Man? Let me know. Also, if you enjoyed this video, if you got some good information from it, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below as well. You can also hit the notifications bell to be notified every single time I post a new video if you don't want to miss any. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.